jihadist movement specialist, Wasim Nasser. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What exactly was hit?
Well, actually, it's a training facility where Al-Qaeda commanders, as the CENTCOM said, were targeted. I get to know that at least 3 confirmed deaths are real. So Abu al-Fadl al-Tunisi, a Tunisian national, Abu Zir al-Masri, meaning Egyptian national, and Abu Yahya Jazairi, an Algerian national. And here we see on the map the spot that was hit. It's a neighborhood called Al-Muhandisin 1, in western Aleppo. And what's important here is we have to remember that it's not the first time that US CENTCOM hits Al-Qaeda targets in this area, but it's the first time since March 2017. So we had previous attacks on important figures of Al-Qaeda, as Abu al-Khair al-Masri, which was like the second of Zawahiri, released by Iran in 2015 after a deal with the Al-Qaeda in Arabic Peninsula, and he wished at the time to join jihad in Syria, and he did, up to the point where he was killed by the Americans in February 2017. So it's not the first time, but they always try to pick high-value targets, as they say.
Now, can you tell us more about this group that was targeted? I mean, who were reportedly threatening the lives of U.S. citizens?
Well, yes, the CENTCOM doesn't go into details, but we know since the friction between Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS led by Julani, and Al-Qaeda, we witnessed on many offshoots of Al-Qaeda having a foothold in this Idlib enclave, meaning also western, the area of west of Aleppo, and Haras al-Din is one of them. But what's interesting here on this issue is that Haras al-Din themselves excluded from the group at least 2 of the people who were targeted yesterday by the US CENTCOM. And the reason for that is because, as I was told one more time, that they issued some ideas, or they were thinking or saying that it is legit still to target the West from inside Syria, which Al-Qaeda Central forbid. Zawahiri himself said that the Western interests shouldn't be targeted out of Syria, that the Syrian jihad should be preserved, as he said. So they were excluded. There was a lot of turmoil inside Haras al-Din, where the heads of Haras al-Din, so Abu al-Humam al-Shami and Sami Araidi, a Jordanian national, were called up to show up in an Islamic court. They didn't. I'll spare you the details, but it tells us one more time that even inside jihadi groups loyal to Al-Qaeda, there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of friction. And one more thing, like a very important jihadi figure, historical figure, Abu Julaybib, the Jordanian, was forced at the time, a few months ago, to leave Idlib. And he went to Daraa, where he was killed. So it's not that plain simple, especially since Julani is the most powerful man in the area. He's trying to control Al-Qaeda offshoots, and at the same time not to upset a lot Turkey. And what happened here yesterday, we can imagine that it's the outcome of the talks at the G20 summit between the Turkish President Erdogan, the Russian President Putin, and of course the American President Donald Trump.
Indeed. Thank you very much for that, Wasim. Wasim Nasser.